Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of Cooking with Things I Found in My Kitchen. I'm very excited this week because this week we're making one of my very favorite things, scones. And more than that, this is a birthday edition. So if it's your birthday, or you've had a birthday, or you're going to have a birthday, or you know somebody with a birthday this year, make sure you tell them happy birthday. It's as good a time as any. So let's talk about scones. Scones are wonderful because they make your house smell great. They're deeply personal. Everybody has a different idea about a scone that they like. And if you screw it up, you get to try and make scones again. I've looked at a lot of recipes. I've tried a lot of different things. And this is my favorite. They come out the consistency I like, and I can make them the same way every time. And they're very good, and it's a very versatile recipe. So we will jump right into it. A couple things to start. Oven is preheating to 425 degrees. I turn the oven light on so I know that the oven is on. That's a good tip if you burn yourself a lot. And I've chilled a bunch of chopped up butter, 5 tablespoons worth. And I've cut up a bunch of fruit that I'm going to be putting into this. I've made a substitution. Normally I use currants or craisins or something, half a cup of them. But being that this is cooking with things I found in my kitchen, My Darling Quarantine production, I don't have any at all whatsoever. What I did have was some strawberries, so I dehydrated them and I chopped them up. You do you, you don't have to. You don't need fruit in this. If you've got ham and cheese, that's good. If you've got curry powder, that's good in it. If you've got cocoa powder and gummy bears, do your thing. It's all going to turn out pretty okay. Just work with me today and you're going to love it. I promise. You're going to love it, and happy birthday. So let's get in. Here's a quick rundown of everything you're going to need. And we need 2 cups, if you're going to be all pissy about it, 10 ounces of unbleached all-purpose flour. Now, like I say, this is a versatile recipe. If everything's not exactly right, you're still going to get scones. It's a great thing about it. 10 ounces. Perfect. Go ahead and leave the top off. We're going to want a bit more flour in a little bit. To that, we're going to add some sugar. We need 3 tablespoons. Now, if you want to use more, you like a sweeter scone, you just feel like you deserve the sugar in this horrible, depressing time, that's on you, and you're going to be okay. Sugar's about what you want, not about what anyone else wants. But you do want the sugar. Baking powder. Powder has the power inside of it to make your stuff rise up. Baking soda does not. We don't have any acid, so we're using baking powder today. We are using 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Nice and level. There you go. Don't want that to fall all over the place. Now, half a teaspoon of salt. Just regular old table salt. You don't need to go kosher salt or anything like that. Just the salt you got around. Perfect. And, okay, so this is our basic, this is our dry ingredients. Yay, dry. We're just gonna kind of mix them around. Here's a tool. Go out and buy one, you're gonna love it. This is for smushing butter into things. I don't put the butter in yet, so before I do, I'm gonna use it to sort of mix up everything, because it's also like stainless steel brass knuckle whisk. It's sort of like the Wolverine claws of the kitchen. Grrr. Grrr. Birthday grrr. Okay, so we got that. It's all mixed together, more or less. And into it, we're going to put 5 heaping damn tablespoons of unsalted butter that I've chopped up into little cubes to go in there to Wolverine up even smaller. You can use like a blendier food processing device. I don't have one. I can't find it in my kitchen. We're not using it here. It's going in this guy. We're going to smush it up with our Wolverine whisk knuckle gloriousness. It's good. So we crush and we crush and we crush. And you want it to all just really be incorporated. You want to not see any bits of butter left. It takes a minute. Unless you have a food processor, which I don't. So you want to keep combining until it's pretty much like chubbly little snow, and it's all good, and everything's good and combined. You don't really see any bits of butter left, and you have your apron on, which is really what you're looking for. That looks perfect. If yours does not look exactly like that, who cares? Just go with it anyway. You're gonna be fine. We'll have more melty bits. No big whoop. Next in, we're putting in our fruit. Half a cup of fruit for this recipe, whatever you got. Doesn't matter. Go nuts. For me, chopped up strawberries. Woo, woo, woo.
You could literally go nuts.
Yeah, this is good. We're also going to put in, for a little bit of zest, some zest. I'm zesting a lemon. Got a microplane. These things are like the best thing ever in a kitchen. You could use them on chocolate. You can use them on cheese. You can just have it as like a friend in hard times. Hey, pal. There you go. It's all in there. Now we got this powdery, we got these, they're a little bit moist, so we're going to mix it all together. Really make sure we get a good, separation of all of our fruits and stuff. Coat them in a little bit of stuff. Yee. This is good. Next up, our wet ingredients. This is a cream scone recipe, so we're using heavy cream, but the recipe calls for a cup of it. The one I started with, I didn't like that. So I used 2/3 cup of cream and 1/3 cup of whatever milk you have. Normally I have 2%, this week I have whole milk. And it goes. Yeah. You can keep using your hands if you want. I'm not gross like that. We're using a spatula, and we're just gonna get it all, combined-y. It'll still have some little straggly bits, but you want to get everything, at least a little moist from the moisture stuff. It won't look wonderful. Maybe yours will look a little wetter. Maybe it'll look a little drier. If you need to add a touch more moisture, go ahead. Again, you're not gonna mess this one up. The basics are so basic, even somebody basic could make it. So you get them mostly together, and then onto your kind of floured work surface. Out it comes. All right. It's a mess. It's your mess. This is my mess. I'm going to make Kira clean it up, because she's very good at her job as director of photography. Smush it all together. Just get it around. Sort of work it up a bit. Kind of want to make it go into a one thing. Fold it. Whatever. Shove the little bits inside. Don't lose them. You want those. There are scones that you get to have. Alright, so it's coming together pretty nicely. You can see it's all basically one thing now. And then, yeah, there we go. That's all pretty good. What we want to do is get scone shapes. There are lots of scone shapes. You can make a big bun and scone it all at once. Or you can do my favorite. I like littler scones, because the little scone is, you can eat a lot of them because you've got more of them, and you can fantastic Mixer Fox the crap out of that. So for those, we're gonna make, like a giant sandworm, a shai-halud of scone here. I'm just gonna smush it all out. May his passing cleanse the way. Some of you got that.
I didn't.
We'll watch the sci-fi version later. Alright, so you get a long thing, and you take your bench scraper, generously donated to you by a fan, and you just sort of even it out, and you make fun tapping noises everywhere. I hold it like this. I measure from, here's the table, there's the top, boom, 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 even on the sides, it all real pretty, smacking it on some butt ends. Moi deep. Okay, now we're just gonna make it, here's my favorite scone shape. You go sort of 45 degrees, and then straight on, and then 45, and then straight on, and 45, and 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 straight on. Water of life. I can see all of time. Okay, the oven's hot. We have our Silplat coated cookie sheet, and in go my little friends to burn for my glory. They are gonna rise and, puff up a little bit, so give them a little bit of room. If you don't give them enough room, they will run into each other when they're baking, and you get to have fun pulling them apart. If you do give them enough room, then they get those fun, toasty edges that are also tasty. And in they go. Like I said, 425 degree oven, 12 minutes, depending on your oven. How hungry you are. Love you, friends. All right, now I'm going to take 12 minutes to clean up all this, and we'll be right back. Almost done. There they are. Okay, they're good to go. Turn that off. Let's see what we got. Okay, those look exactly like they're supposed to look. You can see they poke good. They don't feel liquidy. They're pokey.
Is it a good bake?
Yeah. That's a good bake. All right, now these are going to go onto a wire rack that you either have or don't. You don't want them to sit on the really hot thing because then their butts will keep cooking. So you get them off so their butts don't cook so much. As you can see, I've made several of these big ones. And again, it is the prophecy. Okay. Once these are cooled, or you ain't got that kind of living time to do, once you're ready to deal with the heat of these, you can go ahead and eat them. They're yours. Do what you like, man. This is it. This is your moment to shine. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. Thank you. Look at those pretty things. Look at this really hot thing over here. Let's look at it over there. Okay, they're gorgeous and wonderful. I'm going to put butter on them and eat them. And I'm going to put jelly on them and eat them. Some of them I'm just going to eat. At least 5 I'm going to hide from my family so they don't find them and I can have them later because they will eat them all because they do that. They do that all the time. Thank you so much for joining us on this wonderful outing into my personal favorite of baking things, the one thing of baking that I can actually do pretty consistently. And it's mostly because I've worked really, really hard at it because when Kira goes away to college, I want her to think about the house smelling like tasty baked good so that she'll want to come back more often. It's like social engineering, but nice. Probably.
It means I get more scones, so.
You want a scone?
I want butter on them.
Okay, these 5 don't exist. Those are the only scones in the house. Thank you very much for joining us. This has been a My Darling Quarantine production. I don't know what episode we're on. I don't know what day it is. Yes, I do. It's our birthday. Happy birthday to all of us. God, just have a good quarantine. You're doing okay. Cheers. Okay, cheers, cheers.
Cheers.
You guys want some scones? I want scones. Go, Kira. It was your birthday. Today's Slice's birthday, but it's still your birthday. Molly, you don't want any? If you want some, come in front of the camera.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want any ever, and
Oh,
you
it's
just want
not
me to
hot.
get it might still be hot a little bit.
Don't grab it with all of your hands.
I'm just gonna pass this into the nether region of the camera. It's not in frame. It doesn't exist. Crap, that was one of the 5.
No, it already didn't exist. So.
Mm.
Wow.
No, the little strawberries are good. I don't know if that would work. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Have a good quarantine.